Oh, what's up, everybody? Back with another video. Thought I'd, throw my Miles Morales mask on. You know what I mean? But yeah, you saw by the title. Today we're gonna be ranking my personal ranking of all the Spider-Man films. This is my personal ranking. Some people may not like it. Some people might. Some people might be like, everyone's got their personal opinion. So I'm not mad. I won't be mad. You know what I mean, that was my Daredevil action figure. Sorry about that. But yeah, this is my personal ranking on all the films. This is my personal list of what I like. You know what I mean? How my list goes. So we're gonna start off at number 10. And this is recent. This is not, this is like, I got Across Spider-Verse in this, all that stuff. So this is recent. At number 10, I have TASM 2. TASM stands for The Amazing Spider-Man. It's just easier. It's, it's abbreviated. That way you don't got to keep saying The Amazing Spider-Man. So we call it TASM 2. We could call it TASM. But I have TASM 2. Reason I have it so low is just Andrew Garfield's portrayal of Spider-Man in that film was beautiful. It was amazing. His Peter Parker was good in that film too. It's just the writing was a little, you know what I mean? Towards the end, like Gwen's death and all that, and that was good, but it's just the writing, throughout the film was just, The pacing wasn't there. The villains, there was too many. You had the Goblin and Electro. It was just, they were trying to put two storylines together. It just was too much confusion. At number 9, I have Spider-Man 3. Literally the same thing. The writing wasn't bad in that movie. I love the symbiote scenes when he, you know what I mean? I love the scene when he tracks down Sandman. Just too many villains. You know what I mean? There was just too many villains to work off. You know what I mean? It's just you had Harry become the Goblin. You had Venom and Sandman. You had a lot of villains. It's just, you know what I mean? They were trying to fit all these stories into one storyline. You know what I mean? So, and then number 8, I have TASM, the first one. The first Amazing Spider-Man. Good origin. I think Andrew Garfield's, I love his origin story in this movie. He gets, bit by the spider and whatnot, but I love his portrayal of Spider-Man in this movie. He's probably, in my opinion, he's the best. He's the closest thing we have to a comic accurate Spider-Man. He's like the jokes, like the quips, you know what I mean? The jokes, his persona. It feels like a comic accurate version of Spider-Man. I just wish they could have wrote the movie a little better. You know what I mean? Maybe made his suit a little better. I mess with the suit. It's scary. You know what I mean? It's a little different. I just wish they would have did like them. I think the yellow eyes are cool though. You know what I mean? But a lot of people think that he should have did the white. They should have done the white eyes. The suit looks beautiful though. The Lizard was an amazing villain. I do like the Lizard. They could have wrote him a little better. You know what I mean? At number 7, I have Far From Home. I watched this movie in theaters and I did enjoy it. In my opinion, they just could have, it's not bad. It's just, I think they focus more on like the side characters more rather than Peter himself sometimes. I don't know. It's just, but I did enjoy it. I enjoy the scenes of Mysterio, like the illusions. I enjoy, the ending fight between him and, Mysterio. And number 6, I have Homecoming. Now, I love Homecoming. I really do. This Spider-Man film is really, I can watch this movie on replay. I love Homecoming. I love how they didn't have to show you the origin story in this movie because we seen Tom Holland's Spider-Man in Civil War. You know what I mean? We knew he was in Civil War. But it's just, excuse me, I feel like with the Spider-Man films, they always show you the origin story, but we know what the origin story is. He gets bit by a radioactive spider. He gains powers. We know what it is. They didn't have to show us Tom Holland's Spider-Man origin story because we know what it is. But really, his origin story is not how you thought it was. I even was like, dude, that's mind-blowing. What they did with his origin story was beautiful. His origin story spanned it out into 3 movies. Homecoming, Far From Home, No Way Home was his origin story, which is mind-blowing. An origin story is more like, I don't know how to say this, but like, he was a friendly neighborhood he was Spider-Man. He was Spider-Man But excuse me, he wasn't. The thing with Spider-Man is that Peter loses a lot of people. You've seen it with Tobey's. He lost Uncle Ben. He lost Harry. Same with Andrew. He lost Gwen. He lost Uncle Ben. He lost, you know what I mean. You lose people. And he didn't experience that until Endgame, because he lost Tony. Then in Far From Home, he you know what I mean. He felt like the pressure was on him because everyone was expecting him to be the next Iron Man, and then he kind of lost his way. You know what I mean? He kind of was like, you know what I mean, I'm not the next Iron Man. I never will be, and stuff like that, and blah, blah, blah. And he was just stressed out. And then No Way Home was when he really lost, excuse me, it's really when he lost a lot. He lost Aunt May. That's what really did it for him. But it's just crazy how they expanded his origin story. Wasn't even in Civil War or Homecoming. He already got bit by the spider. We knew that, but we didn't see the Uncle Ben death. He had an Uncle Ben. His Uncle Ben wasn't his. This is what we call, if you've seen Across the Spider-Verse, they're called canon events, which is when, like, Uncle Ben getting killed was a canon event for Spider-Man, for Peter to become better and be a better hero, basically. For Tom Holland's Spider-Man, it was Aunt May's death that made him want to be better and continue to do what she would have done if she would have been alive, basically. But yeah, like I said, Homecoming, Michael Keaton as the Vulture, in my opinion, way better. He was a way better. He portrays the Vulture way better than he did Batman. I'm sorry. I like him as Batman, I do, but I think he scared me when he was in the back, when Tom Holland was in the back seat and they was on the way to the homecoming dance, and he figured out that he was Spider-Man in the car. No, and he was watching him. Then he got the gun and told him if you interfere with my business, I'll kill everybody. I'll kill you and everyone you love. I was like, yo, this man is rude. The boy was like 15. He's, you know what I mean? He's 15 years old. But yeah, Homecoming, great film. I love that. I can always watch that movie. Number 5, the original Spider-Man with Tobey. Great origin story. Great soundtrack. Oh man, excuse me. Okay. Great soundtrack. I love the coming of age kind of theme they put on it. The Green Goblin, he is, bro. His villain portrayal, Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin in that movie was amazing, bro. Amazing. Especially when he at the end, oh my god, bro. He was giving Tobey, he was working him, bro. He was left hooks, uppercuts, right hooks. He threw a pumpkin bomb in his face. He freaking he blew up Aunt May's house and put her in the hospital. I mean, it's just, that movie is good. It's always a classic. Number 4, No Way Home. The theater experience I got from watching this movie for the first time will never ever be replicated in my life. Any other movie I've watched never replicated to the theater experience I had for watching No Way Home for the first time. Seeing all the villains from the past come back on, you know what I mean, and then kind of return to, to their original characters. You had Alfred Molina back as Doc Ock, Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin. I forget the guy's name who played the Lizard. You had Jamie Foxx back as Electro. Thomas Hayden Church back as Sandman. I mean, it was amazing. You had the Lizard back. I mean, it was just, and seeing them come into the MCU, and Tom Holland kind of mess up the Tom Holland really didn't mess up. It was Doctor Strange who messed up the spell because he couldn't concentrate because Peter was talking too much. But it's kind of his fault. So when then that happened, and the whole multiversal thing, that all the villains came in, and then he kind of had to go and put them in these they were kind of like magic jail cells, if you want to call it. The way the villains could get out, and their powers are useless in there. And we see that we see Peter take them to Happy's condo, and when they go there, he makes up all these cures for them. He's going to cure them instead of just sending them back to their universe, because if they get sent back, they're going to die. So he told Doctor Strange, like, you know, and like have a heart. Like if you send these guys back, they're gonna die. And Doctor Strange tells him like, kid, you don't understand. It's their fate. That it has to happen. He's like, come on, man. Like then he ends up taking the box. Him and Doctor Strange have a little fight. Spider-Man wins by outsmarting him with geometry. Yeah, he outsmarts him. Which a lot of people don't give him credit. Spider-Man is very smart. He's not. I don't know why people think like he's. You know what I mean? He's not. He never has been. An idiot. Peter is very, very intelligent when it comes to like science and geometry. He's very smart on making stuff, and he's very, very smart. He's very, very smart. But then we saw like, you know, the Goblin kill Aunt May, and that broke me. Like watching that for the first time broke me. Just seeing him kind of cry for her, like asking her what's wrong, and like he's like it's just me and you, and she just ends up dying right then and there in his hands, and it's just sad. And then he ends up kind of going away on a school roof, but then we got what everyone was waiting for, what we all wanted. We got Tobey and Andrew back as Spider-Man. We got Andrew Garfield Spider-Man in there, and we got Tobey, and it was amazing to see them come back and then them all three talk together, kind of like talk about their own experiences. It was just beautiful. And then they kind of had the swinging scene together. Oh my god! Then they all landed. They all did their poses. I was like, yo, this is amazing. And I will always remember that, watching that film for the first time. I will never ever forget it. Then we see them. Peter tells Doctor Strange, make everyone forget who. Make everyone forget who Peter Parker is, which means MJ won't remember him, Doctor Strange won't remember him, Happy won't remember him, Ned won't remember him. None of these people are going to remember him, and he kind of realizes that's his responsibility. He kind of matured, and that's why. But that was his origin story. Aunt May's death is what made him become a way. It's going to make him a way better hero in the future, because we know we're getting another Spider-Man trilogy. It's going to make him way better now. You know what I mean? So, yeah, and then we see him, you know, make his own suit, get his own apartment, and then it ends, basically. But then in the post-credit scene, we see that Eddie Brock leaves a baby symbiote on the table, which means that our Venom is going to be a different one, which I'm glad about. Number 3, I got Across the Spider-Verse. This movie, watching this for the first time, was amazing. This movie was so good. The way they explained the whole multiverse and canon events, and we saw like little cameos from like Tobey and Andrew in there, and all the Spider-Mans were in there. Yeah, Spectacular Spider-Man come back. You know, Josh Keaton was voicing him. Yuri Lowenthal's, you know, the PS4 Spider-Man showed up. It was amazing. Ultimate Spider-Man was there. All these different versions of Spider-Man we wouldn't have thought of. There, it was so many. It was just, you know, Miles' character development, the ending scene, the plot twist that he was in another universe, because he showed his mom, like, I'm Spider-Man. She was like, who's Spider-Man? She was like, is that one of your characters you're cosplaying as again? And he was like, what? Then Uncle Aaron came in, and his Uncle Aaron in his universe is dead. So he was like, and he hugged him, but then Uncle Aaron was like a little like nah, you ain't the Miles I know, because the Miles in that universe is the Prowler. And when he revealed himself, I was like, yo, it's crazy. And he got an accent, which is crazy, because the other Miles, he ain't really proficient in Spanish. The Miles in Earth 42, my man, he rolled the R when he said Morales. My man, he put the Morales. I said, oh Lord, my boy's dangerous. But movie was amazing. I love like seeing Miles just he outran like a whole clique, the Spider Society by himself. You know what I mean? And he outran Miguel O'Hara was on his ass, and he got chokeslammed, and he dropped one of the hardest lines I've ever heard in my life. He said, "Everybody keeps telling me how my story is," and this is real, and this is for real life too. I took that shit to heart. He said, everybody keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. He said, nah, I'm going to do my own thing. Because everyone around him kept telling him, you can't do that. You know what I mean? So he kind of was like, nah, I'm going to do my own thing. Because y'all, I'm going to write my story. I'm going to, you know what I mean? I was like, damn, bro, that was hard. Number 2, Into the Spider-Verse. I really don't need to say much. This movie is fantastic. It is just spontaneous. This Into the Spider-Verse is, I wish like I could go back and watch this movie again for the first time. Like I wish I can. I really wish I can. Like in the movie theaters when it came out, I wish I can go back and watch it again. Because this movie Into the Spider-Verse is so good. Like the vibes and everything, the soundtrack, I mean the story that they have with all these different, you know, Spider-Man's coming in, and the Spider-Man in on Earth 610 dies, and then Miles, you know, he gets bit by a spider that comes from Earth 42. It's crazy. The Miles gets bit, and then a Peter Parker from another universe gets sent to his universe, and he trains him on how to be, you know, how to be Spider-Man and stuff. And then we meet Gwen, we meet Spider-Man Noir, we meet Penny Parker, we meet Spider-Ham. It's just, movie's so good. It's one of those movies you can always watch on, like, and you never get tired of it. At number one, I have my personal favorite Spider-Man movie of all time. It's I watched this movie during my childhood a lot. I remember seeing it on TV so many times. I'm pretty sure I had the movie, the fight scenes, the writing, the character development. I mean, this movie was so good, and I don't think any other Spider-Man movie can compare, in my opinion. Spider-Man 2 with Tobey Maguire. This movie is what you call the classic. The classic train scene. I mean, it's the fight scenes between him and Doc Ock. Peter's development of him losing his powers and not wanting to be Spider-Man anymore, but he still continues to. He saved a little girl from a fire, even though he really didn't have he had his powers. He just lost focus. He didn't want him. He thought like, maybe I'm not good enough for him anymore. He was going through a crisis, and then because MJ broke up with him and got with another guy, Harry, you know what I mean, kind of was like mad at him because of his like I guess like he blames him for his father's death and stuff like that. Then he finds out that he is Spider-Man, and you know what I mean, Harry kind of feels betrayed. So then that sets up Harry kind of being a villain in Spider-Man 3. But like the shot when Peter puts his suit in the alleyway on the trash can and walks away, that shot is so beautiful. It's beautiful because they actually ripped a page. Like, it's like they ripped the page out the comic book, because that's in the comic book. That happened to Peter. I'm pretty sure he lost his powers, or I don't remember I think he just stopped being Spider-Man because he felt like he couldn't, and he left his suit in the alleyway on a trash can, and that shot is literally, and it was raining and everything, and that shot is so beautiful. But just like my favorite scene in any Spider-Man movie is the train sequence. I just love it. Like when they're on the train and they're fighting, it is just so good. The soundtrack, and then like it's just beautiful. It's beautiful. There's nothing more I could say. That is the best Spider-Man movie of all time. Spider-Man 2 with Doc Ock, of course. Alfred Molina portraying Doc Ock, and his portrayal in that movie, crazy. The hospital scene when the arms were taking everybody out, that they was killing everybody in the hospital. Nah, that joint was scary. But yeah, that is my ranking of all the Spider-Man movies. My personal favorites, my personal list, like I said. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel about my list. Let me know about your list down in the comments if you are a Spider-Man fan. If you're not, I mean, I'm glad that you're watching this video, even though some people probably aren't Spider-Man fans, and that's okay, because you know what I mean. This is probably giving you a sign that maybe you need to watch the movies, because they're all amazing. But yeah, I'll be dropping another video. I think maybe sometime, I think Monday I'll drop a new video. I think that day I might do another death battle, but between some supervillains. Or if you guys want to see it, let me know. I think I might do a room tour. Yeah, I think I might show you guys my room and what, like, my posters I have. Like, you can see the one behind me a little bit, but I got other ones too. But yeah, and I'll show you some of my stuff I got on my shelf. Yeah, that's it for now. So yeah, I'll catch you guys on Monday. Peace.